If you love what you do and you want to do it for a long time, then this one is for you. Consistency is the thing that's going to take you through. You know what I'm saying to you? How do you stay consistent on those days where you don't want to do anything? You don't want to get up. You just want to lie in bed, just relax, take it easy. But at the same time, you know that you got to create results. How do you stay consistent in those moments? We got to do it for years upon years upon years to be able to see the results that we want to see. And again, there's a lot of rainy days that come during that period. And we look at the top performers, we look at the top athletes, we look at groups and we look at individuals as well. When we look at both sides, when we look at groups and we look at individuals, we see that both groups, like a team, say for example, Manchester City recently, they've been so consistent when it comes to that, the end of the season, for example. They're always consistent, they're always getting those points in because they work together collectively as a team to get those points, you know? They keep going, they keep going, they keep going. Certain teams have good streaks and then they slow down. Once they slow down, because Man City is consistent, they're able to catch up because they've been doing it year in, year out. Throughout the season, they're getting the results, They may have a few off days, but at the end, they pick that back up. And there's certain individuals, they have certain off days, but in the long run, because of their consistency, that consistency makes up for those bad days, you know what I'm saying to you? You're gonna have your rainy days, you're gonna have your days that are amazing, but in this video, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be breaking it down. How do you remain consistent? And I'll put that into 3 steps for you to simplify it. Let's get into it. What's going on? My name is Christopher Daniels, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about why you currently can't keep consistent, and I'm going to be showing you 3 steps that's going to help you to transform that so that you can be consistent and you can get things done in the long term. Yeah. First and foremost, the thing that I notice most at times out of 10 is getting into flow. Well, all of my points are going to come back to this, being in flow. So I'm going to set this as the foundation. This is the first one. So when we're talking about being in flow, we're talking about doing things and not even thinking about it. Just not thinking about what we're doing, not thinking about time, not thinking about anything, just enjoying what we're doing. One thing that I notice is like the more that I have things in my personal life I don't think about, the more that I'm just able to enjoy my life. You feel what I'm saying? I'm just enjoying my life because I'm doing things that just flow. I forget about times. And we look at the other side of things. This is another example of things that may flow for you and you just seamless, you're just there, you don't even think about the time. So when you're watching movies or when you're out with your friends or when you're in a cinema or when you're out shopping or all of these things there, you can lose track of time. These things are not necessarily taking you on the path that you want to be in, but at the same time they're things that allow you to be in a state where you just forget about everything, you're just present, you're just involved, you're just immersed in whatever's happening. You get what I'm saying to you? When we're talking about being consistent and being productive, we want to have that same sort of feeling where we forget about time, but in this instance, we're doing it in an area where it's taking us in a direction that we want to go into. Say for example, like I might be somebody that edits videos, and when I'm editing, I'm in flow. The phone rings, I don't care, I'm editing. Somebody calls me, I don't care, I'm editing. And getting into flow is one of the main things that help when it comes to consistency. What I noticed on the other side when I was somebody that was very inconsistent was that I found it difficult to find that flow, you know what I'm saying to you? And once I found it, like things that allow me to get into flow, first and foremost, I say 2 things. Again, editing is one example for me. When I edit, when I get into it and I'm into it, I'm in flow. I forget about everything. And when I'm doing martial arts as well, I just forget about everything. I'm in the space, I'm immersed in it. Once I get in, when you're talking about being consistent, find things that you can get into flow with, that you enjoy doing, and that's going to allow you to become more consistent. And that flow, once you find that flow state, you're going to be able to tap into that in other areas. It's not just I can do it when I'm editing, I can do it when I'm doing a martial art, I can do it when I'm organizing things as well, organizing certain clothes or whatever, like I'm chopping and changing things around. Because I can find it in these places that are important to me, it allows me to understand what the state feels like. So once you find out what your flow state feels like, it's going to make things easier. And I'm going to go into number 2. Number 2 comes straight off the back of the first one. The number 2 is to be organized. If you're not organized, then it's going to be long. When we're talking about consistency, you're going to be able to do the same things for a certain amount of time. So say for example, you want to be consistent, you do a certain thing from Monday to Friday. If things are prepared beforehand, it makes it easier. Say you want to wake up 6 o'clock every day. Say the night before, you prepare everything that you need for 6 o'clock. So when you wake up, boom, you're up and then everything's already prepared. When we're talking about consistency, say for example, you want to be consistent and today you're in London, the next day you're in Wales, and then you're in Bristol, and then you're in Manchester Manchester, like it makes it very difficult to be consistent. But whereas if you organize yourself and you say, okay, even if you are moving around and you know, okay, I'm gonna be moving around, so let me organize things so that I can do the essential things all the time. But if your schedule is messy, or if things are not organized the way that they need to be, everything's just gonna be difficult. When it comes to even like, say for example, filming this, I need to make sure that batteries are charged and everything's ready before. If things are not ready, it's just gonna throw me off. So that's something that I need to take care of. Otherwise, recording consistently will be difficult. That's one thing that you need to recognize. When you want to be consistent, recognize that becoming more organized is something that is highly essential. And for the last one is to focus on the present. Stay focused on the present. A lot of the times we think about the end result too much. So when we think about the end result, it takes us away from what's actually happening now. It deters us from doing what we need to do now. A lot of the time I'm thinking, all right, cool, I've done this, I've done that, I've done the other thing, but the result that I want is not coming. So why am I going? You feel what I'm saying to you? Why am I still going? And it's understanding that this is a long game. A lot of the things that you want to build and a lot of things that you want to grow, they're gonna take a long time. You can go to the gym, yeah, for like 2 months, yeah, you just started, you have never been to the gym before, you start going to the gym for 2 months, you see hardly any results. You could think, I've been working hard every day for 2 months and I don't see any. But you don't know that it's the 3rd month that you need to wait until before you start seeing results. Or it might even be the 6th month. But if you're not willing to wait until the 6th month to see those results and you just bait it out because things are not happening now, you're not gonna get to where you wanna get to. And that's happened for me in many areas. There's certain things that I've kept going with and I see results. Say for example, like even like now, I had an injury on my right leg. So what happened was like I ruptured my keys at one point, and because of that, after it healed, like when you injure a certain part of your leg, it's not only that part that becomes weak, like the areas around it become weaker as well. So let's say my ankle was a little bit off as well, you know, my calf was off, my ankle was off, and all of these things there. So what I started to do, I just started to do some balancing on my right leg outside, balancing calf raises, and what I started to realize is that it started to get better. You feel what I'm saying to you? But I stayed consistent with it, and I wasn't feeling anything. I didn't do it too much, but I did it for like months after months after months. I was just doing it, and when I started doing more of the balance and stuff, I realized, whoa, this is actually making a difference. I wasn't paying attention to it because it's not something that was like out there in my mind, but just because I was doing it consistently, the results started to come. You feel what I'm saying to you? A lot of the times people just stop doing things because they feel like the results are not coming. If you want it, I'm telling you, you're gonna just get it done. And once you get it done, the results are gonna speak for themselves. It's not too difficult. It's not too challenging. It just comes down to you being committed. And once you're committed, you're gonna see the results, yeah? So that's simple, straight up and down. Consistency is important. Consistency is key. If you're thinking about doing something for a long period of time, it's essential that you know that, yeah? Don't stress, don't panic, just keep it consistent. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure that you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the future videos. And other than that, I will be seeing you again very shortly, yeah? Blessings.